It was great.
Survivor Series 2018. That's what I want to know.
You already know who booked it.
You already know.
He's furious, y'all.
I've been watching wrestling since I was a kid,
SmackDown got destroyed.
and I have never been more disgusted as a wrestling fan in my life. You have SmackDown moving to Fox in a multi-million-dollar deal, and instead of booking them in the best fashion possible, you let them get swept clean by a show that puts millions to sleep.
What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy RC3ENT, and I'm here with the good brothers and an upset good brother. But we got stuff to talk about, but I'll let him go ahead and do his little spiel for y'all because I'm hurt.
You'll be quiet. I mean, I can start with something.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Well, I mean, so we're not gonna for this review. Like, we're not gonna go through every match because every match. I mean, it was
Every match doesn't deserve to be talked about.
And every match deserves to be talked about. I will say, like, the Cruiserweight match was probably the best match of the night, or one of the best matches of the night. That match, those two tore the house down. Murphy and Ali tore the house down.
But why did it tear the house down? Because of who?
Triple H. He's the one that gave him the
man
keys.
with 3 H's.
He gave him the keys to the car, and they drove that boy. And Buddy Murphy and Ali had a tremendous match. It showcased what the Cruiserweights can really do, especially on 205 Live. Which, I mean, people watch now more because it's more of a wrestling aspect of it. More of a wrestling aspect. But those two tore the house down. It was a pretty damn good match. I would say maybe match of the night.
The crowd was like heavily invested in the match too.
Yeah, that as well.
Both of those guys, I give them props for what they gave us. Really good match. That's why.
And by the way, we're at Cam's house again. We were down in his basement yesterday, but we in the kitchen today. Pop's down there watching, football. Typical Sunday. Typical dad.
Or whatever,
But man.
Let's see. How about we talk about the good stuff?
Yeah, let's talk about the good stuff.
So did we talk about the Cruiserweight match?
Yeah, we talked about the Cruiserweight match.
I did like the Charlotte Ronda Rousey match
Yeah,
was really good.
yeah. Let's start there, and then we'll go to the last match, and we're gonna get up out of here because the other matches are trash.
That was really
So,
good match. Really good match.
Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey. I'm pretty sure I can speak for almost anybody here. I know I expected. I'm pretty sure they expected for somebody to win, but as the match progressed, we started to figure out that there wasn't going to be a winner because of the way it was going. And once it was
brutal too. It was
right.
It was a hard hitting match. Ronda was
bleeding, and if you pay attention to detail, you would have seen that Charlotte was rolling out the ring every time Ronda would attempt to lock in the armbar. So that also gave me a clue that this ain't gonna end clean. Something gonna happen. But the way the match ended was completely out of nowhere. When I said I wanted to be shocked last night on the War Games review, make sure you go check that out as well. I was not expecting a surprise like that.
Best part of the night.
That was the best part of the night. Everything else completely was doo trash.
Well, it started off with Charlotte got a kendo stick and hit Ronda right in the stomach and just whacking her, whooping her, destroying her. Like, my goodness, like.
And I mean, I don't even know if that's necessarily a heel turn because you did see the video that I uploaded as well with them before we did this, and it was like you could call it a heel turn, but you also cannot. You can also just call it just Charlotte snapping as well because she just went berserk.
She went berserk on Ronda. She literally destroyed her.
In y'all's opinions, do y'all think that set up the 4 horsewomen at WrestleMania, or do you still think they're going to do Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey for the main event at WrestleMania?
Honestly, they can go any way. I'm perfectly fine with any direction they go in with what they're doing. Ronda and Charlotte and Becky, whatever they do, because all three of them have been pretty good this whole year. And I'm just going to see what else they have, planned for them going forward, especially after that.
And is WWE going to turn Ronda Rousey heel? That's another question.
Also, how do you guys think they're going to book this together? Since Charlotte's on SmackDown, Ronda's on Raw.
Becky's on SmackDown, Charlotte is on Raw. You could bring up, not even necessarily won't be a call up. You can just bring up the 4 horsemen, the other 3 members for that specific event, because Ronda is going to want to get retribution on Monday Night Raw tomorrow. She's going to come out limping, blah, 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 whoop-de-whoop this, whoop-de-whoop that. There's going to have to be some payback. So I don't know, for a suggestion that you could do is make Charlotte and Becky Lynch. If you're gonna do the 4 horsewomen match, this is only if you're gonna do that. Make Charlotte and Becky free agents, kind of like how John Cena is. He can go from show to show, and you make Becky and Bayley free agents and let them go from show to show. And the same thing with the 4 horsewomen, so that they can invade each other anytime they want to, so that they don't have to jump in.
There's an easy way you can do it. Just have like Shayna and Ronda on Raw beat up Bayley and Sasha, and then Shafir and the other one beat up Becky and Charlotte on SmackDown, and it's easier to do it that way instead of, because people wouldn't that wouldn't make any sense to them being free agent saving that.
I mean, Charlotte has, but and Becky is on a roll, so.
But the one thing that got me was when Charlotte put the chair over her neck.
Yes, that reminded me of Kane when he did that to Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, too.
Who booked this show?
I've been waiting for him to talk this over.
Let us finish this, and you can do your rant.
Yeah.
Let's talk about one more match, and then you can rant.
Oh, that's the match he hated. The Brock Lesnar, Daniel Bryan.
I hate the match.
No, the match wasn't. It was started off trash because it was a typical Brock Lesnar match, but then it kicked into high gear.
It was great. That was a good match.
Survivor Series 2018. That's what I want to know.
You already know who booked it. He's furious, y'all.
I've been watching wrestling since I was a kid.
SmackDown got destroyed.
And I have never been more disgusted as a wrestling fan in my life. You have SmackDown moving to Fox in a multi-million-dollar deal, and instead of booking them in the best fashion possible, you let them get swept clean by a show that puts millions to sleep. How?
Swept them boys like the Warriors did the
They
Cavs.
didn't even count that victory on the pre-show.
They did not count that victory on the pre-show.
Technically,
And
I don't
6-1.
I don't understand how something like that happens. Like, you let Nia Jax be the sole survivor and winner after injuring and ruining a money match.
and she beat Asuka.
And you let her squash Asuka.
Okay.
Then you
But it got a little too
then
crazy.
you let
Raw win every
you
match.
let Seth beat Shinsuke, but I guess that's okay because fuck Shinsuke. He losing me points in my league.
Gaining me points.
And you let the Bar lose to AOP,
That's understandable.
which is ridiculous because the Bar should have won that match.
You don't think that they should have tried to build AOP some more and have them?
AOP's fine. They're tag champions. It's not about. They don't need to be babied anymore. Like they're.
So you
they're
think they would their reputation would have been fine if they would have lost?
Regardless of what, like they don't have any adequate competition on Raw. They're going to suck regardless. Every tag team on Raw is flat booty butt cheek. It is, every single tag team on Raw sucks. So regardless, AOP is just the best by default. They have no adequate challenges whatsoever. So no, I don't care about a loss wouldn't have hurt them no more than being on Raw will. Then you have now Charlotte, what she did to Rousey was excellent. Like none of us expected that. I don't really know, like they said, if that's a heel turn or not. I just think it's more so the fact that everybody's tired of hearing about how Ronda Rousey is just the baddest bitch on the planet. And Charlotte's done. She's sick of it. Killer part is, I feel like Becky probably would have done something similar if she was still in this match. They wouldn't have buried Becky. They wouldn't have let Becky lose to Rousey clean. They wouldn't have.
On top of that, if you paid attention to after Charlotte just beat the brakes off, and the words of my man's Booker T, beat the brakes off that girl. When she made it to the top of the ramp, she said, "I am the baddest bitch."
Then you go with Lesnar and Bryan, and of course, you give Brock Lesnar the W.
Of course,
the WWE title.
I'm not
shocked
the
about that.
WWE title has been in this company since the company began. 50 plus years, dozens of Hall of Famers have held that title, and they continue to put that red abomination and that joke of a champion above that title. I don't understand it at all. There was no need to do brand wars if you were just going to bury your actual A show. Because let's face it, Raw can't hold a candle to SmackDown. And it wasn't able to before, way back in 2003 and 2004 and 2005. Damn sure can't do it now. And back then, Raw was actually good. So no, I'm not happy. I'm not a big fan of Daniel because of what he did to my man's AJ, but Daniel definitely should have beat Brock.
at the end of
Because
the
Brock don't care about brand wars. Brock don't care about brand supremacy.
No.
You can't make as money.
it's about the money with Vince McMahon at the end of the day. Like I stated in a videos prior, Vince McMahon is going to do what makes him the most money. He's paying Brock all this money, so he's going to do what he wants with Brock Lesnar.
It's definitely evident at this point that Vince McMahon does not care about the fans.
You know at this point that
does
Brock,
not care.
not Brock, but okay, I guess you could say, but Vince McMahon is working with Dana White at this point because once Brock makes it over to the UFC, he's most likely going to defeat Daniel Cormier.
But keep in mind, Brock can't wrestle in the octagon without those roids.
So
He
you can
can't
say all you want
perform.
to. Daniel Cormier is going to beat the brakes off him, but Vince has all the money in the world. He can easily pay him off to let Brock Lesnar win and be a dual champion
I
for the
will
first
say
time
that,
ever in sports
like,
history.
At this point, WWE is kind of making me hate wrestling. Like, I'm about to just switch over to Pop TV and watch Impact at this point. Like, they booking don't make sense either, but
It's not even the wrestling; it's the booking that is start. Roman Reigns leaving
but how do you
makes
have,
you miss him
how do you
because
have,
of this. What's happening?
How does a night prior you have an amazing show in Takeover, and then the next night you pull off something like Survivor Series? I
There's
just
simple reason, man.
like
It's really
Takeover.
NXT
Takeover. Takeover ran circles around Survivor Series.
They always do.
And I'm talking more so than usual. Like usually, like WWE, like if Takeover is that good, like they at least try to like match that.
Yeah.
No effort was made. Like ran circles.
Only
around.
certain superstars always give their all.
But
When it's
Shinsuke and
Takeover.
Seth had good.
Seth and
Shinsuke and Seth
Shinsuke.
could have been better.
Yeah.
It was. It started
If they
off
give,
slow.
if they were given more time, it could have been
They
better.
could have been better.
It was their first match.
But
Yeah.
They was feeling
The
each
But it
bar
was
other.
and
also kind of rushed.
The bar and AOP could have been better.
Yeah.
It's just they add unnecessary elements to these matches. Like focus on the wrestling. Like they focus too much on what's going on outside.
You
The ring.
give
like
too much.
Drake Maverick peeing. Like he just
You
went
For the
literally had this
AOP
man-
That
to
was
win.
funny.
You literally
It was
had
funny.
this
It
man.
was funny,
pee
but
on
it
his-
wasn't.
That was.
You had this, like
That was funny.
who
On top of that, you give certain matches too much time. I'm not saying Daniel and Brock shouldn't have as much time as they had, but it's also the fact that if you were going to give them that much time, Daniel Bryan should have walked out with the dub. Because Brock Lesnar wrestles these every blue moon. He wrestles a long match and he still finds a way to win that match. That should be something they should build off of. Brock Lesnar loses matches once they pass a certain length time. After it goes over 10 minutes, Brock Lesnar has a hard time winning. That should also be a story you can work on because he literally gets sloppy when he gets tired. After the 10-minute mark, you will literally look and see his stuff get lazy. You see the way he talks Daniel for the last F5? Just straight through that boy.
I'm pretty sure they discussed that.
Discussed it. Brock don't care if he discussed it
I'm
with
pretty-
God himself. He's still gonna do what he
I'm
wanted to
pretty sure
do.
Daniel was like, just destroy.
And I don't have a problem with Brock,
I do.
but I do have a problem with Brock at the same time because it's the same repetitive thing over and over and over.
But we should expect it. But you can't keep if you complain about the same thing. It's going to get worse.
at this point,
everybody
it's
knows.
crazy.
Everybody knows it's going to be the
It's
same
like
thing.
the NBA having
The
Warriors win the finals every year. It's like
Yeah,
the
pretty
NFL having the
don't you dare.
It's like the NFL having the Patriots win the Super Bowl every year. Like it's
Oh,
like,
we counting them too. TB12. Shout out to
like
best quarterback in the league.
it's basically
Oh, he's talking about Tom Brady.
you basically showing that you have
He's a
that you
machine
don't
gun.
care
He's a machine gun.
that you don't care at all.
Big facts.
You don't
He's scored
care.
all the time.
You said you don't care at all about your fan base, the people that's pouring money into your company, because you're just gonna do what you want to do anyway, right, Vince? Like, is that what we doing? Like you need to retire. You need to go somewhere else, die, whatever you gotta do. I don't care. But your booking sucks. We need Triple H, bad arm and all, to just take over at this point because we see every takeover what wrestling in WWE could be like.
We leave happy.
Let's just make this point clear. Vince McMahon has had
It's time.
2 years in a row where he's had to
He has
hit
lost
the
it.
panic button.
He has lost it.
With Roman Reigns being gone, you have shown that panic button got hit again because you went straight back to what you did the first time. You gave it back to Brock Lesnar.
And
Hold on, no. And I'm gonna tell you, this right now, Vince McMahon. You sit there and you pay Brock all that money. You sit there and you make all that money. You better use all that money that you got to make sure Roman Reigns gets back. healthy and in time. I don't want no 2-year wait period. I don't
Exactly.
care if he has leukemia. You better get him back ASAP because you need
Oh,
him.
there's
Stop giving the title to people like Brock Lesnar who just pay. You just gotta pay him a bunch of money to even show up when you want him to show up. So obviously he ain't working for your company, Vince. So get Roman back as soon as you can, or give the title to somebody else because it ain't working.
It's not even about Roman at this point.
Big dog.
It's not.
He went off.
It's not even about Roman at this point. It's just the fact that you put
all your chips in Roman Reigns, and now you can't do
you
nothing.
put all your stock into a lazy part timer who don't want to perform.
And what's crazy is they weren't even going to use Brock. But
Brock wasn't even supposed to be around after Crown Jewel. Reigns was supposed to pin him in a match, send him back in the UFC. And it blew up in Vince's face because he's an idiot. You put all your chips in one basket. That's why you don't do that. That's why you should have built Seth Rollins.
Like, literally, what's like you every week your shows like half the arena's empty. Never in my life have I seen half empty arenas in WWE.
Maybe if Rollins would
I think
beat Kevin
TNA
Owens.
is the fact that Impact is probably selling out in their shows at
Factual.
in 2018 and WWE is struggling with ticket sales.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes to how bad
And
the product
SmackDown is catching higher views than Raw every single week.
You moving SmackDown to Fox and you
A
let them
sports
get,
TV.
you let them get swept clean, not a single win at all.
Swept. You said what, Cam?
I was saying, like, in terms of Raw, like, we got all this talent that's not even just basically on the roster for nothing.
Let's
just
just-
fighting for nothing.
Let's just name a few talents that have been wasted.
Finn
so
Balor.
far. Finn Balor,
Finn Balor.
Bobby Lashley, Bray Wyatt, Bailey and Sasha Banks. Okay?
It's a KO.
KO got
Sami
buried.
Zayn.
Sami Zayn got buried. And you buried
Bobby
him to
Roode.
Bobby Lashley.
Bobby
Bobby
Roode.
Roode can be
Roode.
better. Chad Gable can even be better. He's not that
Dude,
bad.
Chad Gable could be
Oh,
Chad Gable could be
my
a
God.
great upper mid.
The Ascension. Let's just think about that. The Ascension were top dogs in NXT and they
So the
came.
revival and they messed
The
up.
revival.
Yeah, but fuck the revival.
What, okay, so obviously I saw there was also a promo for Lars
Yep.
to debut. What are they going to do with
Hopefully
him?
he don't go to Raw.
Because if he go to Raw, it's going to be right. He's going to be another right back if he goes
You
to
know how
Raw.
that's gonna do.
Period.
We'll see what happens with Lars.
I don't know.
I think he'll be fine.
Maybe y'all enjoy Survivor Series, but as a fan of wrestling,
It wasn't even average for me at this point.
it wasn't average.
poo-poo.
Well below average.
Poo-poo. Only reason it got
The only highlights from the night were
Charlotte.
Charlotte and Rousey, and then Daniel's offense towards Lesnar. But the rest of the show is just absolute trash.
The Cruiserweight match.
if you were
Oh,
smart,
the Cruiserweight match.
yeah.
Cruiserweight match was good.
And if you were smart, you would have had Charlotte and Ronda main event because you would have sent the fans home happy.
Yeah, you would have.
Yeah, people would have been home like,
But I don't know.
It's just getting repetitive at this point. And when we could sit here and predict all the matches pretty much right for the most part, there is an issue at
yeah,
hand.
'cause- let me just say one thing. I want there to be a time in WWE when we stop predicting, when we stop doing fantasy booking, when we stop predicting matches, because
It's good.
I just want to get back to a
it's
point
good.
where I can enjoy wrestling again.
Yeah, because fans, they always do fantasy booking, and then we always get disappointed, or nothing goes our way. We get mad. We just want to have something that's fun to watch, just something that we all can enjoy every week, every Monday. Well, next year it'll be what, Thursday?
Vince McMahon is sucking the fun and joy out of WWE.
And even though Vince, he created a whole thing, it's time to give it some new blood, Vince. Some new blood.
Because you clearly don't know what you're doing.
I'm gonna say this.
Your creative team is trash.
If
Road Dogg produced this show. Jesus
If-
Christ.
Time to give it to some new blood, Vince.
if you're gonna, let's just use this as a basket for an example.
Goodness.
You filled all your chips up in one basket and you gave them to one superstar. You said, "Here you go, Roman. Take my company and make it special." So all of a sudden he gets injured.
It's not even that.
But
they
it's
got-
like
they got
you
people,
you had chances to build other people up when he wasn't in the
They
main
got- they
picture.
got-
they
Seth
got
Rollins,
people to they got
Braun,
people to work on.
They are building Drew
Dean.
McIntyre, but I'll give him
Drew
that.
McIntyre is the only good thing that's constantly being pushed on, and you can tell he's going to be something big. Braun Strowman's been screwed over and over and over again. He should have been Universal Champion.
I don't understand why Brock didn't put Strowman over. Like
I don't know whose decision it was. I don't know if that was Brock behind the scenes telling him I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like he does
I don't think
before. It
He
was
put-
somebody.
He put Goldberg over.
Yep.
A 50-year-old Goldberg.
But Goldberg will beat the brakes off him.
Goldberg also didn't need to
Exactly.
get. Goldberg didn't need to be put over.
Goldberg ain't going. You think
What's
Goldberg gonna
Goldberg
let Brock
have to
Lesnar tell him he's not gonna
He
lose?
still
to him?
got
You
it?
sound
Yeah,
crazy.
Goldberg has nothing to prove.
I'm just saying, he put over a 50-year-old Goldberg.
That's not even putting over.
No, he didn't put him over. That was Vince's decision. Vince called that shot, and Brock wasn't gonna say nothing about it because Goldberg.
And you see how it worked
Catch
out for
these
Brock
hands.
in the long run.
Exactly.
So one, but who cares? At that time, he put him over because
You're saying he put him over. That was not that nigga's decision. Because if it was his decision, he would have won that match.
Yeah, but like that was in 2016.
Yeah, that is
I'm
20
just saying.
Still sucked.
I'm just giving my thing.
At the end of the day,
Brock-
Survivor Series was trash.
Brock Lesnar
Period.
should not be Universal
He shouldn't even be in the WWE right now. But that's what happens when stuff doesn't go as planned,
I will.
buddy pal.
But
He always tries to see the light in the situation.
I
I
always do
try
that.
to do as well, but it's also like it only takes so. You can only see the same thing.
because at this point we seeing the same thing at every pay-per-view. The
Facts,
same spots, the same booking choices.
That's the reason why,
it's
like,
all
if I see
the
something,
same.
I'm not gonna complain about it because who cares? Like, you
But
can't have
and that
you can't
and
complain
that
about
makes
all the time.
sense. Like I understand that mindset, but like at the same time, it's hard to not get frustrated.
I understand
Right, as a fan.
I understand.
Like as a fan, it's hard to not get frustrated, especially if you know a company like WWE can be better.
Yeah.
Like
And they've proven
if we talking from a talent standpoint, this is the most talented roster they've had ever.
Yeah.
Like back then, it was all about the gimmick you had.
The characters.
We got
In ring-
actual
in
actual
ring-wise,
people
yeah.
that can go.
In ring
To-
wise,
like, that can go-
from the best talent they've had. You just gotta know how
Like
to
we got the
utilize it.
best, like some of the best talent in the world, and you wasted them.
The
And
thing
you keep
about-
and you
But the
just
thing about us
bad
fans
booking.
is that we may hate it, but
We
there's
can't
always
do
that
nothing about
there's
it.
always that one in the back of our mind that we always think it's gonna get better. That's the one thing
Well,
we always
Triple H took over.
It's the one thing we always have in the back of our minds, no matter what. We could say we're gonna
Hey,
not
yo,
watch it no
Vince.
more. We could start canceling
Hey, yo,
our
Vince.
subscriptions. It'll
Chief card.
always-
He said that ain't it. Big show.
But
Vince, you can.
But
Survivor Series was 2.5 for me.
it was trash regardless.
Dude,
Trash,
Survivor
is
Series
trash.
like 0 stars.
2.5.
So
I ain't giving that shit no stars.
we gonna get up out of here. We gonna go watch the only decent thing that was good about wrestling, which is that AJ Styles 365 documentary. Make sure to check that out on WWE Network. $9.99 a month. You get your first pay-per-view
Why you
free.
fucking WWE Network?
Shut
What's
up.
wrong
Might
with
get a
you?
sponsor.
I'm
Looking
legit
at
about
it.
to go
You get
and
the
like
first one
cancel my
free.
network
So-
for real this
You're a
time.
new subscriber.
We finna get up out of here, man. And y'all know what to do, man. Don't forget to leave a subscribe for your boy right here. Check out my latest video over here. And don't forget to comment, like, subscribe to the Big Dog RC3ENT. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words.
Break it down.